A C-suite executive's time is worth roughly $10 a minute, maybe even more. If you spend the first 5 minutes of a meeting with them giving background context, nervous rambling, you're literally burning their money. But here's the thing, I think I know why you ramble. It's not because you're bad at your job, it's because you're nervous and you think that imposter syndrome is kicking in. If I just give them more detail, they'll see I work really hard. But actually, the opposite happens. The more you talk without a point, the less confident you sound. And as an executive director at one of the world's largest banks, I know this firsthand. I've seen brilliant people lose the room in 60 seconds because they didn't have a framework in which to communicate with the C-suite. So today I'm teaching you the executive briefing format. It's a 3-part framework I use with the board or with executive leaders. It stops the rambling, it kills the nerves, and it guarantees they listen to every word you have to say. The first part of this framework is to use the bluff method, and this stands for bottom line up front. Most nervous presenters bury the lead, what they're actually asking for. They treat the meeting like a murder mystery novel where the reveal comes at the end. And executives hate mystery novels. They don't have time for this. They want the spoilers on page 1. They want to know exactly what they need to do and what they're getting into. Looking at an example of this, here is the nervous junior on the left. Hi everyone, thanks for your time. So looking forward to Project X. We've been looking at the data from Q3, our team been working really hard. We ran into some issues with the vendor, blah, blah, blah. Do you hear that? That is the sound of an executive checking their email on their phone. You haven't told me why we are even here. So here is the executive approach for using bluff. You're going to say, good morning, I'm here to get a go, no-go decision on a $2 million expansion project. I need 15 minutes to walk you through the 3 critical risks and then I need your signature. So why does this cure the nervousness? Because when you walk into a room, your heart is racing. If you try to freestyle your intro, you will stumble. Your anxiety safety net is to write down your bluff sentence verbatim on a notepad. Sit down, look at your pad and read that one sentence. It anchors the room and proves that you are in charge. So stick with what's on the right here and always follow with that. Once you stated your purpose, you need to give context, but this is where nervous people retreat into safe mode, which means technical jargon. You start to use big words, you start to want to sound smart. Don't do that. Your job is to be a translator. You must translate your expertise into their language. The language of executives only really focuses on 3 dialects. You've got risk, revenue, and reputation. So as an example, as an engineer, we might start to say something very technical like we need to refactor the code base because the technical debt is causing high latency in the API calls. The CEO has no idea what you have just said. What you really need to say is something along the lines of, we need to upgrade our platform stability. Currently the slowdown in load is what's causing us 10% of our customers checking out. That is 50K a month in revenue risk if we don't solve this problem. So there you've taken the technical challenge and turned it into more of a business, revenue and risk focused conversation. This leads us on to part 3, which is all about bringing choices and not to bring problems. So this is the recommendation side of the framework. The fastest way to annoy a C-suite executive is to dump a problem on their desk and ask, what should we do? That forces them to do the work. You are paid to do the thinking, not them in this respect. So to kill the nerves, never enter a meeting with just a problem. Always enter with 3 options. This turns the meeting from a test into a choice. So rather than testing this executive into what we think we should be doing, you're giving choices and you're guiding them as well. You're guiding through the choices to help them come to an agreement on what the right solution is. So in the option here in the example, to solve the revenue risk, we have 3 options. Do nothing, do a quick fix that may cost us 10k as an example and take a week, but it's only temporary, to then go to a strategic fix, which is 50,000, takes a month but solves this problem permanently. Then deliver your recommendations based on the data. So go for the option that you think is the right one. So in this case, it may be option C. It costs more upfront, but it's protecting us longer term. By laying out these options, you aren't wrong if they disagree. If they pick option B, that's still great because you gave them those options. It takes the pressure off you for having to be the perfect and have the perfect answer. Now, the hard part and the scary part is the Q&A. This is really where you feel like you're going to crack. It's where senior executives start to grill you. Your instinct is to start talking immediately to fill the silence. But this is where it's really important to stop. Nervous people start to rush, but as a leader, you want to pause. When a question gets tough, you need to take a breath, maybe take a sip of water, count to 3 in your head. Use these phrases to help you buy time as well. So that's a critical question. Let me pull the exact data on that so I don't give you a rough estimate. I don't have the figure in front of me right now, but I will email it to you by the end of the day. That's a good way of not saying that you don't know. And what I can tell you is, so reframe it to what you do know. If you don't know what they're asking you, you can tell them what you do know. Admitting you don't know is not a weakness, but guessing and being wrong is fatal. So it's better to say what you do know. The C-suite respects the confidence that will come out, that I will find out. That's better than a nervous guess. So really, in a nutshell, communication with the C-suite is just one part of the puzzle. If you want the full toolkit on how to act, think, and lead like an executive, I've actually got a playlist right here that I'll link to with all the leadership skills. So click there and start to watch those videos and start upping your leadership game so you get that promotion to leadership that you deserve. If this video resonated with you, please subscribe to this channel, like and share it with those that you think will find this useful, and I'll see you in the next one.